Good morning, dear students. In this class, we are going to learn about Chapter 3, Unit 3, that is Time Series. Now, we shall see what is this time series. In these days, one of the important tasks of the economist and the business people is to make the estimate of the future. That is nothing but to forecast about the future. So, time series analysis helps to make the forecast. It plays a very important role in commerce, statistics, as well as economics. So, if you want to make time series analysis, first and foremost thing is you have to collect the information of the past. So, what you are going to do with this information is you are going to observe, then you are going to collect, then you are going to record the information, or you are going to record the data as and when it occurs, that is in accordance with time. So, to apply the time series analysis, if you have to analyze it, first and foremost thing is you have to collect the information of the past. After that, you are going to observe it, collect it, and then you are going to record the data in accordance with respect to the time. So, it is called as time series data. Now, we shall see what is the meaning of time series data. Meaning, arrangement of statistical data in chronological order or in accordance with time is known as time series. Arrangement of statistical data in chronological order. The statement itself means we are going to arrange the statistical data. Here, statistical data is nothing but the numerical values. So, you are going to arrange them in the chronological order. Chronological order, it may be either in ascending or the descending order, or in accordance with the time is known as the time series. When the numerical data are observed at different point of time, the set of observation is known as time series. For example, if we observe the agriculture production, now let us consider the production of rice. Consider the production of rice in 2011, 2012, so on up to 2019. So you can predict or you can forecast what will be the production for the future or how much you can produce for the future. Likewise, in sales, population, exports, imports, etc., at different points of time, say over last 5 or 10 years. So, you have to record the data of the previous years or according to the time more than 5 to 10 years. The set of observation constitute time series. Here the time is the most important factor because the variable is related to time, which may be an hour, a day, a week, a month, or a calendar year. So, the production of rice we are going to consider in terms of years. So, in the year 2011, in the year 2012, what was the production we are going to consider, likewise in terms of a calendar year. Next, we shall move on to the definitions of time series. Definitions are given by various statisticians. So, we'll see the first definition, which is given by Maurice Hamburg. Maurice Hamburg says a time series is a set of statistical observations arranged in chronological order. A time series is the set of statistical observation arranged in a chronological order. Here, Maurice Hamburg says statistical observation, a set of statistical observation nothing but the set of numerical values which you are going to arrange them year wise or in a chronological order as it has been recorded. Next important definition is given by Croxton and Cowden. A time series consists of data arranged chronologically. A time series is a data which consists of a chronological arrangement. A time series consists of data arranged chronologically is the definition given by Croxton and Cowden. Next, the definition is given by the Patterson. A time series consists of statistical data which are collected, recorded, observed over successive increments. Successive increments, for example, the production of rice, year increase, that is 2011 2012. So these are the successive increments of the time. Next, the graphical representation of time series data is called histogram. Important, a graphic representation of time series is called a histogram. Next, we shall move on to the essential requirement of time series. What are the essential requirements to collect the time series data or how to analyze time series? As far as possible, the time gap between the various values must be equal. As far as possible, the time gap between various values must be equal. For example, if you consider the production of rice, you need to, if you are collecting the production of rice in 2002, the next gap can be 2004, 2006, 2008. So the gap between the time period, it is 2 years. So such gap should be equal, or the possible time gap should be the same. Next one, it must consist of homogeneous set of values. Homogeneous set of values means similar set of values, so that you can consider the time series. Next, data must be available for a long period of time. For a long period of time, that is minimum from 5 to 10 years of the data, you need to have the previous data. So you can't consider the short period data. Next, we shall move on to the uses of time series. Uses of time series. First one, it helps in planning and forecasting the business activities. Second one, it helps in understanding past behavior and it will help in estimating the future behavior. Third one, comparison between data of one period with that of another period is possible. Fourth one, we can evaluate the progress in any field of economic activity. Let us see the first use, that is, it helps in planning and forecasting the business activities. So past successive years, what the business has been done, a businessman can forecast how to develop or improve the future or forecast his future business activities. So the time series has been very useful for it. Second one, it helps in understanding past behavior and it will help in estimating the future behavior. So for example, as I told, the production of the rice. So for the past consecutive years, how the production of quantity of the production of rice, how much it has been there, whether it is increasing or decreasing. So we can understand the past behavior and we can estimate the future one. So by seeing the past values, we can guess or we can forecast how the improvement or the estimate the future behavior in the production of the rice. Third one, comparison between the data of one period with the data of another period is possible. So you have the previous data. So from the past successive years, whether there is an improvement, we can compare whether there is an increase or decrease in the production in the various sectors. We can compare them. Next, we can evaluate the progress in any field of economic activity. So we are able to evaluate the progress, especially with the graphical representation. It will be very useful or helpful for us to evaluate the progress of the economic activity. Next, we shall move on to the components of time series. There are 4 components of time series. First component is secular trend, second one is seasonal variations, third one is cyclical variations, fourth one is irregular variation. Components of the time series: first one secular trend, second one seasonal variation, third one cyclical variation, and fourth one irregular variation. Next we shall move on to the first one, that is secular trend. The general tendency of the time series data is to increase or to decrease or to remain a constant during a long period of time is called secular trend. The tendency of the time series is to increase or to decrease or to remain a constant during a long period of time is called the secular trend. The long term or the long period of time in trend depends upon the nature of the data. Hence, long period does not denote a fixed period of time. In one case, even few hours may be considered as long period, and in another case, several years may be considered as long period. It should be clearly understood that the trend is general, smooth, long-term or average tendency. For example, decrease in the death rates in past many years is a downward trend. Decrease in the death rates, that means we are going to follow downward trend. It is the decrease. Increase in the price of gold in the past many years is an upward trend. Now at present we see the price hike in the fuels. So past, if we consider, the price is hiking, so it is nothing but the upward trend. If suppose we see the fall in price in the fuel cases, so it is considered to be a downward trend. So it differs from a time to time, especially from a days to days it will differ. Next, second one, that is seasonal variations. The regular, periodic and short-term variations in a time series is seasonal variation. The regular, periodic and short-term variation in a time series is called seasonal variation. Seasonal variation is predictable. The factors causing the seasonal variations are climate and weather condition, customs, traditions and habits of the people. Climate and weather conditions, it is depends, whatever the climate or the weather condition is there today, it may differ for tomorrow. So it is nothing but various seasons. If you see winter season, summer season, rainy season, certain predictable variations we can observe. The result of natural forces causes seasonal variation. For examples, umbrellas are sold more in rainy season. In winter season, sale of woolen clothes will increase. In summer season, sale of ice cream, cool drinks, etc. will increase. So man-made inventions are the customs, habits or fashion, etc. Examples, there is a custom of wearing new clothes, preparing sweets and buying crackers for Deepavali, Dasara, Christmas, etc. At that time, there is no more demand for clothes, sweets, and crackers. Most of the students buy books and stationery in the first few months of reopening of the colleges. So, these are the seasonal examples for the seasonal variation. So, seasonal indices are used for the measurement of a seasonal variation. Next, we move on to the third, that is cyclical variations or business cycles. Most of the economic and business time series are influenced by the wave-like change of prosperity and depression. There is a periodic up and down movements. This movement is known as cyclical variation or oscillatory variation. Most of the economist and the business time series are influenced by the wave-like changes of prosperity and depression. There is a periodic upward and the downward movements. This movement is known as cyclical variation or oscillatory variation. Cyclical variation are of 4 stages. Cyclical variation is an oscillatory variation which occurs in 4 stages. First one, prosperity. Second one is decline or recession. Third one, depression. Fourth one, improvement or recovery. One cycle consisting of 4 stages occurs in a period of few years. The period is not definite. Generally, the period is 3 to 10 years. So, if you see the economic condition at the present scenario of our country, it was been prosper, but it is in declining now. So, in future days it may go for depression, and next we are going to face the recovery or the improvement in the economic situation of our country. Just we'll observe the business cycle, how it has been there. You will see a normal line. You see the prosperity, how it has been increasing. Next you see the decline, and depression is nothing but below the normal. If you go, it is a depression, and from there if it rises, then it is nothing but the improvement or a recovery. The study of cyclical variation is helpful to businessmen and economists for framing suitable policies and stabilizing the level of business statistics. Next we move on to the fourth, that is irregular variation, random or erratic variation. It is irregular movements of the data over a period of time. These variations are not regular. These are sudden unexpected variations. These are caused by war, floods, strikes, lockouts, earthquakes, etc. These movements are very irregular and unpredictable. We have seen the various situations in the previous days, that is floods have occurred. We have seen the strikes, what the loss we see. Next, during the lockdown situations, we have seen the practical situation of the economical status of our own lives. And you have seen during the floods how the struggle is being done to the loss. Next we move on to the examples. Sudden increase in the death rate of a locality due to the earthquake or tsunami. You see the loss during the earthquake and tsunamis. Second one, there is sudden increase in the price of vegetable due to bandh call given by an organization. So these are the 4 components in brief of the time series. Those are nothing but secular trend, seasonal variation, cyclical variation and irregular variations. Thank you.